The era name was a title used by ancient Chinese feudal dynasties for chronological purposes, similar to the widely used AD and BC in the modern world. When a new emperor ascended the throne, a unique and carefully chosen era name would be adopted to signify the new dynasty's fresh beginning. In 960 AD, following the Qinqiao Mutiny, Zhao Kuangyin replaced the later Zhou dynasty and established the Song dynasty. The first era name used by Emperor Taizu of Song, Zhao Kuangyin, was Jianlong. At that time, several other regimes from the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period also used this era name for their chronology. In the third year of the Jianlong era, Emperor Taizu of Song ordered the prime minister to choose an era name that had never been used before to replace the current era name, Jianlong. Prime Minister Zhao Pu proposed the era name Chanda. In the third year of the Chanda era, 965 AD, after Emperor Taizu of Song conquered later Shu, some palace maidens from later Shu were sent to the Song imperial palace. One day, as Emperor Taizu was admiring one of their mirror cases, he discovered an old bronze mirror. On the back of the mirror, the inscription read, "Cast in the 4th year of Chanda." Greatly astonished, he showed the mirror to his prime minister and asked, "How is it that we already have a bronze mirror cast in the 4th year of Chanda?" None of the ministers could provide an answer. The emperor then summoned scholars Tao Gu and Doi to inquire about the matter. Doi explained, this mirror must have belonged to former Shu. In the past, the ruler of former Shu, Wang Yan, also used the era name Chanda, so this mirror was likely cast during his reign. Hearing this, Emperor Taizu suddenly realized that the era name Chanda had already been used, and, even worse, by a ruler who had lost his kingdom. Reflecting on this, he sighed and said, "A prime minister must be a scholar." From then on, Emperor Taizu placed even greater trust in scholars. Zhao Kuangyin was born into a bureaucratic family. His great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, and grandfather all served as officials in different dynasties. His father was a military officer deeply influenced by Confucian culture, and his mother also had a certain level of cultural literacy. Although the couple lived in a military camp, they placed great importance on their children's education. Zhao Kuangyin and his brothers studied at a privately run academy within the camp from a young age. Later, the Zhao family even hired scholars well-versed in Confucian classics to tutor them. Although Zhao Kuangyin developed a stronger passion for martial arts as he grew older, the strict Confucian upbringing he received set him apart from ordinary military generals. His education endowed him with exceptional charisma, which played a crucial role in his eventual rise as a great emperor. The renowned Warring States period philosopher Mencius once said, "The heart of compassion is inherent in everyone." During the chaotic era of the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms, marked by relentless warfare and power struggles among military warlords, the people suffered immensely. Zhao Kuangyin was deeply moved by their plight, and within him grew a grand ambition to change the world. In 959 AD, Emperor Shizong of later Zhou, Chai Rong, passed away. His 7-year-old son, Emperor Gong of later Zhou, Chai Zongxuan, ascended the throne. The 5 dynasties period was a time when military generals wielded independent power, and mutinies were frequent. The young emperor's reign was evidently fragile and unlikely to last. In 960 AD, Zhao Kuangyin led the later Zhou army north to repel an invasion by the allied forces of northern Han and the Khitan. While stopping for the night at Qinqiao Post Station, an unexpected event unfolded. The next morning, a group of officers suddenly burst into his tent and draped a yellow robe over the still drowsy and slightly intoxicated Zhao Kuangyin. Kneeling before him, they loudly proclaimed him emperor, shouting, "Long live the emperor!" Shocked by the scene, Zhao Kuangyin addressed the officers sternly, "You seek wealth and power and have made me your emperor. If you are willing to obey my orders, I will accept, otherwise, I cannot be your ruler." The soldiers all responded in unison, "We will follow your commands." Thus began the Qinqiao Mutiny, marking the rise of the Song dynasty. Zhao Kuangyin then publicly declared that upon returning to Kaifeng, the Empress Dowager and the young emperor of later Zhou must not be disturbed, the officials and nobility of later Zhou must not be harmed. The imperial treasury and the homes of officials and commoners must not be plundered. He further decreed that those who obeyed his orders would be rewarded, while those who violated them would face execution along with their entire families. The assembled officers and soldiers all responded in unison, "We obey." Thus, Zhao Kuangyin led his troops back to Kaifeng in an orderly fashion, their ranks disciplined and well organized. This was an unprecedented military coup, one that achieved a dynastic transition without the chaos of burning, killing, and looting. After ending the warfare of the 5 dynasties and unifying the country, Zhao Kuangyin abandoned the traditional autocratic policy of strengthening the military at the expense of the people. Instead, he promoted Confucian culture as the guiding principle and launched an unprecedented cultural reform movement in the Song dynasty that prioritized civil governance over military power while emphasizing the use of Confucian ideals for social education. He did not suppress the people's belief in Buddhism and Taoism, allowing religious thought to coexist alongside Confucian teachings. In the 3rd year after Zhao Kuangyin became emperor, he secretly sent people to carve a stone tablet, which was hidden in a room inside the imperial ancestral temple. This tablet came to be known as the Oath Tablet. It contained 3 lines of oath: if any member of the Chai family commits a crime, no additional punishment shall be imposed, even if they commit treason. They shall only be imprisoned and not subjected to public execution, nor shall their relatives be implicated. No scholar officials or those who submit petitions shall be killed. If any descendant violates this oath, heaven shall punish them. This was a symbolic declaration to ensure the stability of his rule and prevent future bloodshed among his family and the scholar official class. Every time a new emperor ascended the throne in the Song dynasty, after paying respects at the imperial ancestral temple, they were required to kneel before the oath tablet and respectfully recite the oath, eternally remembering the instructions left by Emperor Taizu of Song. Zhao Kuangyin's attitude towards the descendants of the Chai family stands in stark contrast to how most rulers throughout Chinese history treated the descendants of deposed monarchs, who were often exterminated. Zhao's approach was truly unique in this regard. Unlike other autocratic rulers who clung to power, Zhao Kuangyin revered the Confucian principle of scholarship leads to officialdom. He greatly valued the role of scholar officials, allowing them to share governance with the emperor. Zhao sought to restore the ritual and music-based civil system of the pre-Qin period, breaking the dominance of powerful aristocratic families over government institutions. He encouraged common scholars to enter the central and local governments through the imperial examination, giving them the opportunity to participate in governance. The Song dynasty had a relatively open political environment, with freedom of speech and liberated thought among the people. The relationship between officials and civilians was harmonious, and the people lived in peace and prosperity. There was a major emphasis on water conservancy projects, large-scale land reclamation, and the improvement of farming tools, leading to rapid agricultural development. The production of grain significantly increased, and new economic crops such as fruits, mulberry, hemp, and tea were introduced. As a result, farmers' incomes were stable, they had abundant food and clothing, and the growing market economy was well supported. Unlike previous autocratic regimes that focused solely on agriculture and the military while neglecting industry and commerce, the Song dynasty saw the comprehensive development of traditional handicrafts, mining, textiles, porcelain, and other manufacturing industries. This, in turn, spurred advancements in science and technology during the Song period. Innovations such as papermaking, printing, gunpowder, and the compass were applied in everyday life, greatly impacting society. The Song dynasty court's open economic policies and the abundance of material wealth fostered the prosperity of urban culture and economy. The capital, Kaifeng, became an international metropolis, attracting countless foreign merchants who came to do business and settle there. The broad streets were bustling with traffic, with people and goods flowing non-stop along the main roads. Rows of restaurants, inns, and entertainment venues stood side by side, with ornate carvings and splendid architecture. From morning to night, customers continuously filled the establishments, and business thrived. Kaifeng was truly a city that never slept. The Song dynasty court's open policies toward common intellectuals sparked a nationwide wave among young people from all social classes to study Confucian classics and ancient texts. This not only injected fresh vitality into the Song dynasty's bureaucratic system but also brought about a complete transformation in social customs and the spiritual outlook of society. Officials became more humble and virtuous, steering clear of corruption, while the common people became literate, respectful, and cultured. This led to a prosperous nation with a stable and peaceful population. The Northern Song dynasty, 960 to 1127, was the most economically and culturally prosperous period in ancient Chinese history and was considered the happiest time in the lives of the Chinese people. The founding emperor of the Song dynasty, Zhao Kuanyin, did not centralize all power but shared governance with the scholar official class, implementing cultural reforms and liberating social productive forces. This is why the renowned historian Chen Yingke said, "The culture of the Chinese people, after thousands of years of evolution, reached its peak during the Zhaosong era."